Hey everyone, it's Scott here. Rents are going to get crazy. Between 2025 and 2030, we are going to see massive escalation in rents. And this is all based upon the prediction that we will be 400,000 homes short by 2030. We're sitting somewhere between 200 and 250,000 homes short now in terms of the housing crisis, and it is not getting better. It is getting worse despite the government coming out with this housing accord. In this video, I'm gonna look at what the government has said and done and the money that they've committed to fix this housing crisis and why and how it has failed. I'm also going to take a look at why rents are gonna get crazy and grow out of control between 2025 and 2030. This also applies to house prices, and this is gonna be a massive hit to Australian households. And obviously we've got people that can afford property and afford to invest into property. Probably good for them in terms of their net wealth. But then for all of the Aussies that are not in the housing market or just have one home they live in, but are not investors into property, this is gonna significantly impact their wealth. So they're gonna be big winners and big losers in the next 5 years. Basically what happened in 2021, we came out of the whole health emergency thing and we started bringing in massive amounts of immigration. These are the numbers right here. And then we stopped building as much property. Many reasons for that. I'll put a link below to the video that explores that topic, the constraints behind why we can't build enough property. So check out that video, that we simply are not building enough. And then the government came out and said, we are gonna build 1.2 million homes, which we need to build about 240,000 homes a year. But check out these numbers, guys. We are not building enough. In fact, just in the last 6-7 months, we are already behind almost 30,000 homes completed behind where we need to be to meet the government's target. And I'm just reading here, okay? So the Housing Australia Future Fund, it promised 10 billion in funding to build 30,000 affordable homes in 5 years. But nearly 2 years in, according to the government, only 358 homes have been completed. But here's the truth, those are not even new homes. So what they've done, they've acquired old homes and they've converted them. So 340 of those homes are not even new builds, guys. So they're not adding to the housing supply. So guys, after 2 years into a 5-year plan, we've made no ground on 30,000 affordable homes. It is just moving too slow. Now guys, where does the 400,000 homes short come from? Now here at Freedom, we've got our own research team. In fact, Liana Pan, co-founder of Freedom, is a data scientist and an actuary, and she has put the number between 450 and 500,000 homes short. Of course, that's nationally. Different areas are gonna have a lot of shortage, some not so much. But if we take a look at the Urban Development Institute of Australia, they say from their research that we'll be 393,000 homes short in capital cities alone, this is not including regional areas, by 2029, okay, by 2029, just 4 short years away. So they predict that this housing crisis is going to get worse. I'll put a link in the description so you can find their report. It's a very interesting read. Go ahead and read that if you want more info. Now, other forecasts go even further than 393,000. Okay, so Mandela Partners, they did this research. They were appointed by the government because the government, they wanted a second, third, fourth opinion. Mandela Partners went and put together some research for the government. And in fact, they came back in 5 years' time. They say we will be 462,000 homes short, which lines up very closely to what Liana Pan had also predicted. So guys, take a look at the ABS, all right? Now, I've got a link here to this as well. So you'll see here at the ABS, the most recent quarter, Australia has 11.29 million dwellings, and that's an increase of 168,000 homes over the past 12 months. And just 94,200 dwellings were added in the first 6 months since the housing accord came into effect. Remember, when I say housing accord, I'm talking about the 1.2 million target by the government to build and construct new property. If we're supposed to deliver 1.2 million homes over 5 years, we need 240,000 new homes every year or 120,000 homes completed every 6 months. So far, we're already behind 25,800 dwellings in just 6 months of reporting. Now here's the kicker, guys. These ABS estimates tend to be revised lower in future quarters. So we're likely to find out we're even further behind than what we think, because they're always clarifying the data and washing the data and making sure it's accurate. So if they're saying 25,800 short now, that might wind up being 30 or 35,000. What does this all mean for housing affordability? Let's break it down. The cost of buying a home in Australia is completely detached from reality. Since 2003, housing costs have grown significantly faster than incomes. In 2003, it took 8.4 years to save for the average deposit for the average home. Today, it takes 10.1 years to save that same deposit. That's 10 years of your life to get a deposit to get into a property. Now guys, this is key. Australia is the only country in the world where every capital city is rated as unaffordable. I mean, it used to be Sydney and Melbourne, and you could get out to Queensland, you could get out to WA, Adelaide, you could find an affordable level of living. But because of the mass interstate migration, these capital cities are now also unaffordable. And in fact, I've got a great video, which I'll link below, which talks more about interstate migration, because if you can understand interstate migration patterns and also suburb to suburb patterns, you'll be able to pick the suburbs which are going to boom in price. But enough of predicting boom locations for now. The bottom line is that this crisis is not an accident. It comes down from poor planning by our government, immigration policy, approvals policy, trades, labor, material costs, inflation. All of these things can be controlled and influenced by good policy settings by our government. Now, I'm thinking about doing a video about the different political parties and why you would and why you would not vote for them at the upcoming election in May 2025 in terms of fixing the housing shortage. So if you want to see a video like that, please like this video, leave a comment, let me know that you want to see it, and I'll put one together.